Well, good morning to you all. Today is the 9th of February and I was hoping to show you a bit of snow and be able to use the snow mode on the automatic gearbox and the Rover today, but the snow, it is sort of around, but you know, we've got to bear in mind that I live in Hampshire and we are just a few miles from the sea and it just doesn't snow here very much. So no snow mode today, I'm afraid, but we do get to talk about other things, and this is the 21st in the series of the Very Vague Vlogs that we started. I don't even remember how long ago it was. It was during the first lockdown anyway. And today we're going to be talking about something actually that has been on my mind for a while but not really mentioned it. I do intend to actually have a rebrand on the channel going on fairly soon. We don't actually on the channel currently have a logo. We never have had a logo on this channel, whereas some channels don't even start until they have, you know, a logo and sort of that kind of thing. Tweed Jacket Reviews, of course, was the first type of video that ever appeared on the channel, and the first two videos were Tweed Jacket Reviews of this car, the MG3 and the Seat Toledo. They were of our own cars, I should say, rather than this car. They were of our own cars. And we've just sort of managed really without a channel logo. We've just kind of managed without. I think Florence Mechanical Marvels started off maybe even without one. I don't even remember, it's so long ago. But I think we're going to have to come up with a channel logo at some point, and we might even put a channel ident on all the videos. That doesn't mean that, you know, the videos will particularly change or anything. They'll still be a bit rubbish and probably not edited at all. This one won't be edited, but it just sort of means that they have a more consistent feel to them. Also, I've recently bought a Laurie's Mechanical Marvels t-shirt. It's a very good one. I might show it on the channel at some stage, but it has made me kind of think perhaps some of you do want to see sort of branded kit. I don't like the word merch or merchandise. It's a bit American for me, but sort of branded goods, I think is what we would probably call them in British English. Or as everyone calls them, merchandise. I can't remember what we used to call them before we used that word. I don't quite know what that would sort of look like. I mean, you know, we can't really have Tweed Jacket Reviews branded tweed jackets. That doesn't really work. But equally something nice, and we've got plenty of catchphrases that we can use to be able to brighten those up, I'm sure. So I'll be consulting with a certain person who's very good actually at branding their channel, and you know, we'll see what we can do. As I've mentioned, the first Tweed Jacket review for this year will probably be filmed as soon as possible after the restrictions are lifted. I've already got the car lined up, I've already got someone to film and edit it lined up, and you know, we're ready to go. It's actually in this area as well, so it's not very far or anything. It's literally just waiting for the restrictions to lift and then we will do it. Likewise, I had another channel viewer who's already supplied 2 cars for filming on the channel actually get in touch with me and offer me another car for filming. So I'm just going to have to sit down and actually get a record of all the things I've been offered, otherwise I'm just going to forget. It's almost impossible for me to remember now. It's very nice to be offered so many, but it's just a bit sort of crazy because the list doesn't diminish because I can't film any reviews, so the list doesn't actually diminish at the moment. And that's, I think, the word I'd use for that is annoying, just like the fact that for some reason my mount is jumping up and down at the moment, which is probably very annoying for you as well. I do apologise, you know, this is just the way it goes on this channel. It's not a lot really I can do about that. Yeah, it is actually a mount that it's not a cheap one. of them, but it still sometimes jumps up and down. The worst time it did that was in the Kia Pride video. We just had to abandon the section that we were filming because it was jumping up and down too much. So yes, I'm hopefully that we'll be able to do a few more exciting things other than just driving up and down the motorway to go shopping, which is what I'm doing for my mother, and that sort of stuff. We'll be able to do a few more exciting things quite soon, but it just depends on what's going on in the world, I suppose. It's one of these things. The very vague vlogs only really exist because we need to kind of keep going during this lockdown and have something to put out. And I do have some other things I'm trialling. You might have actually seen one of them already by the time that this comes out. I've decided to record this about a week in advance, actually, just so you can possibly see some vestiges of snow somewhere. But we've actually routed this motorway incredibly well, so there's nothing here. Maybe if I'd gone out a bit earlier, it would have been. But yes, with regards to the last very vague vlog that happened, between me recording that and it going out, Mr. Coleman had a very lengthy conversation with me about the different types of coolant and also the fact that they do have proper names and proper purposes. And he can talk for hours about that sort of thing, so I've encouraged him to actually make a video on Rubbish Mechanic channel about it, because I think there are some people actually who are genuinely interested in that sort of thing. Me, not really so much. I just need to know obviously what type to put in the car, what type's going to be useful, and most people are probably like that. They don't really mind so much as to what the chemistry is behind those things, because there's a good amount of chemistry involved. OAT, of course, stands for Organic Acid Technology, which is the normally red type of coolant in this car. So it's obviously one of these things where we have different types of people who watch the channel. Some people like some things, some people like other things. That was highlighted during the last live stream that we had at the time of recording. Obviously, by the time you'll see this, will have been another live stream that happened on the channel as well. But during the one we did on the 6th of February, somebody asked me a question that really was just not something I particularly deal with on the channel. It was to do with someone who's in their late 20s who wanted like a sort of vaguely sporting car for a certain amount of money. Now, you have to remember, all of you, that I source cars for people professionally. This is actually the primary purpose of why the channel existed in the first place, which, it seems to have failed in its purpose because I don't really get any inquiries to source cars for clients through the channel. I don't really get many of them, so the purpose of the channel has pretty much failed in that sort of way. It's more now I kind of and see some of the older cars, but also where the new cars that are released from certain brands actually come really quickly. For example, we get brand new Suzukis, Sanyongs, MGs on the channel, possibly this brands of brand new cars as well. So we have a wide sort of variety of spectrum of people who watch the channel. It's not quite fulfilled its intended purpose, and that's fine. However, you just have to remember, if you source for a client with this, it depends what's out there. It really, for example, I've got a job I'm going to be doing quite soon, giving me a budget and type of car, but I can't necessarily say that, oh yes, we'll definitely buy a certain make and model of car, because it will depend entirely what is out there. Most of the dealings I have do with second-hand cars, not exclusively, but most of them are. And so it depends what's about, you know, model the best, taking your accident. That could be that it's something entirely different from, you know, what somebody has in their mind before we start the search. That's the beauty of being independent, and, you know, not actually you know, having to work for cars I prefer and cars I don't. But, you know, if you're looking for a car in that sort of way, you know, this, I don't know, 10 to 15,000 pounds sort of sporty two-door thing, you want an actual answer, just go and look at the High Peak Autos channel. Matt is, you know, far more into that sort of stuff than I am. I find a lot of the pretty boring. BMW, you know, A5, they're just boring. You know, I'd much rather have a sort of question saying, you know, what is the best kind of a good value sort of family car, because there are a lot more kind of interesting answers to it than that. But anyway, here we are at the petrol station. Gonna stick some fuel in because this Rover loves to drink it. Thank you ever so much indeed for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more incredibly vague and ridiculous vlogs and other content, hopefully at some point in the future, including reviews. Thank you to everybody who is still offering me the cars to film, and who has offered me cars in the past. You know, it's the reason why really we grow, is that kind of thing. And also, you know, there's trambolic shuffles, which we can't do at the moment because there are no shows. But yeah, social media links are in the description below. And thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching.